Hello YouTube, my name is Legend of DS and welcome to a speculation video. And since today is Pokemon Day 2018, why not talk about Pokemon and its potential release date on the Nintendo Switch and if it will be in 2017. So let's get it started with my first prediction. Technically speaking, it is a prediction. I believe Pokemon Switch, let's call it that, will launch on the Nintendo Switch this year, this holiday season. I believe it's going to be either the November or October title. Now, sure, I've gotten a lot of things wrong in my predictions videos in the past, but hey, leakers out there and supposedly industry insiders can have as many wrong turns as they want and still have people believing them unconditionally every time they make a flat-out prediction on or spill out or say stuff that everybody else is saying. Maybe I can give it a shot too, but let's get this video onto it, and let's start off with, yes, I believe Pokemon is coming in 2018. I believe it's going to be this year. There's a multitude of reasons why I believe it. First is my belief that, like everybody else is predicting, that Nintendo's going to release, nobody's predicting this because we already know, releasing the the online infrastructure, the paid online, is coming September 2018. Now there are people out there predicting and saying that it needs a launch title. I personally don't. I think a multitude of reasons could make the game sell well enough that the online service sell on itself, that it doesn't need a launch game. But if it does, many people are predicting Smash. I don't think Smash would be it. I think that Pokemon, given the fact that it has such a big community in the terms of online services, it wouldn't shock me if they indeed went with that. The second thing is my own prediction or speculation on what the Switch was intended to be. Much like I have a belief of what the PS4 originally was and then it became after the internet got around to it and Sony was smart enough to read between the lines of what's going on, I believe that the Nintendo Switch was in fact a 2016 product that Nintendo purposely delayed, so that they could have a more padded out year for 2017. My belief is that Nintendo had a very straightforward line of thinking. 2016 launch, build up momentum until the holiday season where they would launch Mario Odyssey, so they could sell for a first great year. But they didn't have enough games to pad out a November release, so they went with the more simpler, it wasn't really simple, but a better launch in March, so they could pad out the year better. So going with that line of thought, that train of thought, I believe that Nintendo's plan for the holiday seasons for each one of their big games would have been Zelda in 2016, Mario in 2017, and Pokemon in 2018. Now, how could I be so sure? And now we've been having rumors about Pokemon 2018 that Nintendo is enforcing it out. Well, here's my train of thought, and that it's going to be helped in a little bit when I go to another point. If we look at when Sun and Moon, let's first look at that engine, okay? You're probably right now, the only thing on screen is the Switch with a Pokemon trailer playing on it, depending on the trailer, because most of them get blocked worldwide. Let's go with, there's a trailer right now going on. And as soon as I talk about this particular point, it's going to change to just static images of the engine of Pokemon, and I should probably put them up now. What you're seeing right now are images, and obviously there's footage out there, of Pokemon Sun and Moon, the engine for Sun and Moon in HD. This is not modified by fans. This is not fans going in and altering all the things. No, this is the engine. This is what the engine could be unlocked to. This is what people found in the engine since the demo came out. People have found this from the beginning. There's no hacking involved here. This is what the engine could look like. Now, this is my belief. Sun and Moon began development around the end of 2014, when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire launched. At that point in time, Nintendo also launched the biggest, the last, we could say the last bullet to save the Nintendo Wii U, Super Smash Bros. by the end of 2015, by the end of 2014, and probably by January 2015, it was clear nothing could save the Wii U. The Wii U at that point already had Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Nothing short of Pokemon could save it. Or if it had most of those games come out, or if the system had just launched and 2014 was the ending of its first year. If by the end of the first year the Wii U had the market that the Switch has had and the launch and the lineup that the Wii U had, but all consolidated, conjuncture, no, all put in that first year and a half, maybe the Wii U would have had a sliver chance of success. Not a sliver, it would have had actually pretty good success or chance of success, because hey, the Wii U was not as bad of a system as people make it out to be, and a lot of its exclusive first-party games are terrific games. But by the end of 2014, of the year 2014 and beginning of 2015, it was clear nothing could save the Wii U short of a miracle. Now, sure, technically speaking, the Wii U got another life, especially in Japan, after Splatoon came out, but nothing was going to save it. So my thing was that, obviously, at that point in time, Nintendo was already working on the Switch, the successor to both 3DS and Wii U. Is my belief that technically, in the beginning, Nintendo was going to market the Switch. If the Wii U had not flopped like it did, I believe that Nintendo would have held on to the Switch until the end of 2017, maybe, and with Breath of the Wild coming out on the Switch and all that, on the Wii U and all that, and then 2017 would be the launch year, with Mario Odyssey being its major launch title. And if you don't believe me, you can. Obviously, this is just speculation, but looking at even what Nintendo has said recently with Mario Odyssey was always a Switch title, makes me believe that originally, if the Wii U had not failed, the Switch would have been a late 2017 product instead of an early 2017 product, or even early, or even 2016 product. And maybe not with as much ports as the Switch has been getting. And it would obviously been marketed the way it is right now, but it would have been clear from the beginning it's a successor to both, instead of what we have right now. It's a successor to the Wii U, but maybe not a successor to the 3DS, or hey, maybe not a successor to the Wii U as well. But you just say that this is also a home console first, so wouldn't it make a successor to the Wii U, even though, and especially now that the Wii U doesn't have any games coming out? Well, it's possible. We're not going to talk about that. So I believe, again, this is a long point trying to get to this part, is that Nintendo went to Game Freak and said, we know how you guys do things, and we know we already began development for this game for the 3DS, and obviously we're not going to try and change it, but we want you guys to do us one small favor, is get ready for the Switch. And they showed them the Switch, or the prototype, or the idea for the Switch. Now, sure, we heard from the Pokemon company that they were not, well, confident in the success of the Switch, but here's the thing, that's the Pokemon company. That's not Game Freak. We don't know what that Game Freak's feelings were on the game. Nintendo went and said, hey, could you guys get the system ready for the engine ready for HD? And that's why we have this HD ready engine, so that when the time came for the Switch to come out, Nintendo would have that bullet in the chamber lying in wait, so that they could get the Pokemon game ready to go. And obviously, there's another, looking at that, continuing on that train of thought, Game Freak might have been like, okay, we can, let's do it. So around that time would have been early 2015, maybe February, January, even March 2015. So, and you might say, but wait, but that's still that's just getting the game ready. That doesn't mean that the game has been in development for that long. Correct, my friend. But you want to know what's very interesting? The team, or the developers, or the producers, and the everything that was behind Sun and Moon, the director of Sun and Moon, is not the same director for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Game Freak has always had two teams, while they're big enough to be able to have two teams. And Monolith Soft, they have 118 people. Monolith Soft, with 40 people, developed Xenoblade Chronicles, which is basically the Xenoblade Chronicles engine, modified in about 2 years. Game Freak can do it with already prepared engine for HD, and finding, and if they need, they could ask Monolith Soft's Kyoto for help. And this also goes in line with every single, but most of the launch titles or releases of Pokemon games with releases of Nintendo systems. In the past, a game would come out for the system would come out, and then a PlayStation. A system would come out, and then so would a game would come out for a system. So let me just make double sure of something before I say it. It's the only release that I'm not too sure. Okay, yes, it was. Okay, I have it correct. So let's look at the dates of release dates for Pokemon games since Gold and Silver. This is the Pokemon games that would coincide with the launch of brand new systems or around that time period. So Generation 2 began with Gold and Sun coming out on November 21st, 1999, with Crystal completing the trilogy of games, or the trio of games, on the 30th of June 2001. Followed by that, Generation 3 would launch on the GBA on November 21st, 2002, 3 years to the date of the launch titles of Gold and Silver. By the way, these are just the titles and the release dates for the Japanese release, because obviously if we include the worldwide release, it basically stays the same way, with the point I'm going to be trying to get across later. Then Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out on January 29th, 2004, and funnily enough, this was a shocker to me, on September the 16th, 2004, Emerald came out. Then Black and White came out on September 18th, 2010, and Black and White 2 came out the 23rd of June 2012. Sun and Moon came out on November 18th, and almost November 18th. I thought it was... Wait, I have to make sure of this one too, because maybe I screwed up. No, yeah, okay, I got it correctly. Almost a year to the date, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out on November 17th. Now, we have all... These are the Pokemon games that most coincide or are closer to the release dates of Nintendo systems, of brand new Nintendo systems. So let's go with the Nintendo systems that launched during that time period. So the GBA launched March 21st, 2001. So 3 months later, Crystal came out. A year and a half later, Ruby and Sapphire came out. But then the Nintendo DS launched November 21st, 2004. So 2 months, practically 2 months and a half after Emerald, and almost a full year after Fire Red and Leaf Green. The 3DS launched February 26th, 2011. So a full year and 4 months before Black and White 2, and roughly 5 to 6 months after Black and White. Pokemon Sun and Moon, November 18th, and the Switch, the 3rd of March, 2017. So you see, most of these games coincide or are very close to the launch of a new system. However, and this is what I should have brought in, was however, I didn't bring the DS one, but I do have the 3DS. Oh no, I don't have it. No, but it doesn't matter. I know the release date closely to the X and Y. X and Y came out on October 13th, if I'm not mistaken, 2013. A year and a half, practically, after the 3DS. A year and a half, practically, half a year, I should say. No, a year and a half after GBA came out, Ruby and Sapphire came out. You see a pattern here? A year and a half. So the only thing missing here is Diamond and Pearl, which, if I'm not mistaken, which I can look right now. Diamond and Pearl, which obviously will be getting a remake on the Nintendo Switch, came out September 28, 2006, which is... Okay, that's the one that kind of busts this. It's 2 years practically, but it was working with two screens for the first time. I will give them that one. So, you can see there's Pokemon games coming near or around or even after this launch of a system. Crystal came out after the GBA, Black and White 2 came out after the 3DS, or even very close to the system's launch, as the case of Emerald coming out 2 months before the launch of the system, they all tie up very nicely together. So 2018 would fit just there for Pokemon Ruby and Ruby, Generation 8 to come out. That alongside the engine already being ready for HD, and the fact that Sun and Moon, the team that was behind Sun and Moon is not the team behind Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, that would give them around 2 years, about the same time that that team, the Sun and Moon team, is also the team that made Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That took around 2 years on a brand new engine. Taking that engine, the new engine, taking an engine that already exists and putting it on the Switch, already is HD ready. It shouldn't take them too long. I'm not saying too long, but it should be ready for this year. I know a lot of people hang on upon the idea. It's not going to be 2018, not because of any specific reason, but mostly because they said in the intro, when they announced Pokemon for the Nintendo Switch, it would have been over a year. I think people don't understand what that actually was meant to be. Remember, that came out a week after Pokémon Tournament and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were announced. I think mostly too because of the fan backlash to those games. Not only that, remember what he said, in over a year, it could take up a year or over a year after E3 2017. I'm not a genius, I'm not, but I'm pretty sure that a year after June 13th, 2017 would be June 14th, 2018. That's over a year. That doesn't mean, oh, it's he said that in over a year from now, then clearly it's 2019, because God knows we already are in 2018. Now, obviously I'm not saying it's a guaranteed, but this is just my feeling. Not only that, but Pokemon Platinum came out September 13th, 2008. Funnily enough, just saying this, this is Generation 8, obviously. It's Platinum was the third game in the 4th generation. What's 4 times 2? Oh, that's 8. Also, the 8th generation is the one that will most likely get the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I think that's pretty clear. I mean, we just got the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes on Generation 7. Generation 6, I should say. So maybe, I'm not saying anything, but Nintendo is also launching the online service in 2016. In September. Maybe that's coming up 2 + 2 = 5, but hey, people are doing that with Smash Brothers. I think I got away with doing it with Pokemon, even though Pokemon is a much bigger deal. Although I would say that I get more hype for Smash Brothers than I do for Pokemon, but I prefer Pokemon over Smash in terms of playing the game, actually, because I can actually play competitive. I played competitive for a little bit, and that was actually kind of good. Anyway, that was almost 20 minutes of rambling. I know there's going to be like about 30 seconds that I'm going to have to remove because I completely lost my train of thought in the beginning. But hey, I thought about doing this video for Pokemon Day. This alongside my Pokemon Platinum Randomizer Nuzlocke are going up today. The Pokemon Day 2018. That's at the February 27th. February 27th, 2019. So tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Do you think Pokemon Generation 8 or even the Diamond and Pearl remake would happen this year, or do you think that Pokemon is going to be coming out next year? And if you believe Pokemon is coming out next year, do you believe that it will be that Nintendo either A, needs a game for the launch of their online services, and if you do you think it's going to be Smash, if not Pokemon? But anyway, I've been Legend of DS. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Playlists for the Platinum playthrough will be just the video as of right now in the video thingy. Then will be replaced by the playlist, Xenoblade Chronicles playlist as well, and whatever YouTube thinks is best for you. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.